Good morning, America. I have some truly shocking weather news for you today, and I want you to listen very closely. We are tracking a weather event almost unheard of for this time of year. Just as we settle into crisp early autumn days, a massive wave of frigid air is about to barrel down from the Arctic. That's right, an Arctic blast is heading our way in September. This is not a drill. Expect a dramatic, whiplash-inducing temperature drop, making it feel more like January than fall. Even our most seasoned meteorologists are doing a double take. This is the kind of weather story that rewrites record books. Normally, September is a month of transition. We expect pumpkin spice lattes, light sweaters, the beautiful colors of changing leaves. What we don't expect is digging out heavy winter coats, scraping ice off windshields, worrying about frostbite, but millions across the country will need to prepare. This isn't just a cool front. It's a full-scale invasion of polar air set to shatter temperature records. The shock factor is off the charts. What does this mean for you and your family? It means prepare now. Let's break it down. So, you've heard me use the term Arctic blast, but what does that actually mean? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand. Imagine the North Pole as a giant freezer filled with incredibly cold, dense air. Most of the year, a powerful ribbon of wind called the polar jet stream circles this region, acting like a fence that keeps that frigid air locked up tight. It flows in a relatively straight, stable path, separating cold polar air from the warmer air to the south where we live. Here's the jet stream as a straight line, then watch it morph into a wavy line with a deep dip, allowing cold air to flow south. But sometimes that jet stream gets wavy and weak. It develops big looping dips, almost like a river meandering. A very deep southward dip creates an opening in the fence. This allows a huge chunk of bitterly cold, dense Arctic air to break free and spill southward at a rapid pace. This southward rush of polar air is what we call an Arctic blast or a polar vortex event. It's not a storm in the traditional sense, hurricane blizzard, but rather a massive invasion of a different type of atmosphere. Just how unusual is an Arctic blast of this strength in September? Let me be clear, this is exceptionally rare. It's the kind of event meteorologists might see only a handful of times in their entire career. September is typically a shoulder month, a time when the atmosphere is in a gentle, slow-moving transition. The sun's angle is getting lower, and the days are getting shorter, which allows the northern latitudes to start cooling down. But the process is usually gradual. We expect a slow, steady decline in temperatures, not a sudden, shocking plunge into deep winter conditions. To put this into perspective, let's look at the historical data. For most of the northern and central United States, the average first freeze of the season doesn't happen until mid to late October, or even November in some areas. Seeing widespread freezing temperatures, let alone highs struggling to get above freezing, in early September is almost unheard of. We are talking about temperatures that are not just a few degrees below average. We are forecasting temperatures that will be 30 to 40 degrees, and in some places even 50 degrees below the historical norm for this date. That's not a deviation, it's a complete departure from reality. This event is so rare because the polar jet stream, that guardian of the Arctic cold, is usually still quite strong and positioned far to the north in September. It takes a very specific and unusual atmospheric setup to weaken it enough to allow for such a deep southward plunge of cold air this early in the season. We are seeing a powerful blocking pattern of high pressure over the North Pacific and Greenland, which is essentially forcing the jet stream to buckle and creating a direct pipeline for that frigid air to pour straight down into the heart of North America. Let's get down to the numbers because they are truly staggering. Our latest forecast models are in remarkable agreement about the severity and scope of this cold air outbreak. As of this morning, September 3rd, 2025, the leading computer models are showing a massive dome of high pressure originating from Siberia, sliding over the North Pole, plunging south through central Canada into the United States. This is the classic signature of a major Arctic intrusion, and it's happening with shocking speed. The core of the frigid air mass is currently over the Northwest Territories, with temperatures already well below zero. The temperature drop will be nothing short of breathtaking. Let's look at a city like Denver, Colorado. The forecast for today shows a pleasant high in the upper 60s. By Friday, just 2 days from now, the high temperature is expected to be only in the low 30s, with overnight lows dipping into the teens. That's a drop of more than 30 degrees in the daytime high in just 48 hours. But it's the overnight lows that are most concerning. We are forecasting temperatures that will shatter daily record lows. some of which have stood for over 100 years. So who is in the direct path of this unprecedented Arctic assault? The first to feel the icy grip will be the states in the northern Rockies, northern plains Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas. These areas will be ground zero for this event. The leading edge of the cold air could arrive as early as tomorrow, Thursday. Residents there will experience a dramatic shift, temperatures tumbling hour by hour. Snow is a real possibility, even at lower elevations. As the cold air crashes into remaining moisture, we could see several inches of early season snow in Billings and in Cheyenne. From there, the cold front will slice southeastward with remarkable speed. By Friday, the core of the cold will settle over the central Rockies, and the Central Plains Colorado will wake up to winter-like conditions. Nebraska will too, Kansas as well. The temperature contrast will be most extreme here. Imagine going from a pleasant sunny day perfect for a hike to a day with icy roads and a hard freeze, all within 24 hours. The shock and disruption potential is highest here. By the weekend, the Arctic air mass pushes east and south. This extreme and sudden shift in weather will have a ripple effect across every aspect of your daily routine. Let's start with your morning commute. The first hard freeze means that any moisture on the roads, even from morning dew, can turn into black ice. This is especially dangerous because drivers are not yet in a winter mindset. They are not accustomed to looking for icy patches or driving more slowly. Bridges freeze first. Overpasses freeze first. Be extra cautious on both. Travel delays are almost a certainty. Schools and businesses will face tough decisions. Many school districts, especially in the southern part of the affected zone, may not have cold weather policies for September. They may have to consider delaying school starts to allow safer travel and to make sure heating systems are working after being dormant all summer. Outdoor work like construction and landscaping will be severely impacted. Cold temperatures and biting winds will make it unsafe to work outside, causing stoppages and project delays. Your home life will be affected too. This will be the first real test of your furnace for the season. Many people haven't turned on their heat since last spring. Check your heating now. HVAC companies will be swamped. Protect your home from the freeze. Disconnect garden hoses, drain sprinkler systems, insulate exposed pipes to prevent bursting. While this cold snap is serious business, there are some fascinating and fun facts about cold weather that are worth sharing. For instance, did you know that snowflakes are not all unique? It's a common myth. While the chances of finding two identical complex snowflakes are infinitesimally small, it is possible for two simpler, plate-like crystals to be virtually identical. In 1988, a scientist in Wisconsin actually found two identical snow crystals from a storm. Here's another one that might surprise you. Have you ever wondered why you can see your breath when it's cold outside? It's like a mini cloud coming out of your mouth. Your breath is warm and full of moisture from your lungs. When you exhale into very cold air, that warm, moist air cools down rapidly. The cold air can't hold as much moisture, so the water vapor in your breath condenses into billions of tiny liquid water droplets, ice crystals. You're just creating a personal, temporary one every time you breathe out. With temperatures dropping so dramatically, safety has to be your number one priority. The most important advice I can give you is to dress in layers. Layering clothes traps air between the fabrics, and that trapped air acts as an excellent insulator to keep you warm. Start with a moisture-wicking base layer to keep sweat off your skin, add a fleece or wool mid-layer for insulation, and top it off with a waterproof and windproof outer shell. A warm hat, gloves or mittens, a scarf to cover your face and neck. You lose a significant amount of body heat through your head. It is also critically important to know the signs of cold-related health emergencies like hypothermia and frostbite. Hypothermia occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it, causing a dangerously low body temperature. Early signs include shivering, confusion, and drowsiness. Frostbite is an injury caused by the freezing of the skin and underlying tissues. The first signs are redness or pain, followed by a white or grayish-yellow skin area, and numbness. If you suspect someone is suffering from either of these conditions, get them to a warm place immediately and seek medical help. But the key takeaway from all of this is not to be scared, but to be prepared. Information is our most powerful tool. Understand what is coming, know why it's happening, and learn what steps we can take to mitigate the risks. Dressing in layers, winterizing our homes and vehicles, knowing the signs of cold-related emergencies. It's about respecting the weather and taking it seriously. Ultimately, events like this remind us of our shared vulnerability to the weather and the importance of community. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly or those who may need extra help. Share information, share resources, and look out for one another. While the forecast may be shocking, our response can be one of preparedness, resilience, and care, so please, stay informed, stay safe, and stay warm. We'll continue to track this historic event every step of the way and bring you the latest updates right here. We will get through this unexpected September winter together.